this is Pooja and welcome to our channel AglaSem School. Today we are going to do NCERT Solution for class 6th English chapter number 10th, the Banyan tree. So before moving towards the question and answer part, let's see the summary of this chapter. The author was sitting on a banyan tree and he was very happy. He also used to play with a squirrel who was friend with him, and he used to give him cakes and other eatables. Now the author described about the banyan tree that in spring the tree was full of small red figs and it almost became the habitat of all the birds, chirping and singing songs. Author built a platform on the tree where he used to spend his afternoon. On one afternoon he saw a fight between a mongoose and a cobra, and the audience were a crow and a myna. The fight was very fierce and the crow and myna were also participated in that fight. As a result, crow died. So the winner of the fight was mongoose because of his swift and fast movement, which eventually killed the cobra. Now without wasting any time, let's start with the question and answer. Now turn to page number 131 working with the text, and question number A is complete the following sentences. And your first sentence is the old banyan tree did not belong to grandfather but only to the boy because, and your answer is the grandfather at 65 could no longer climb it. Now turn to page number 132, second sentence. The small grey squirrel became friendly when, and your answer is he found that the boy did not arm himself with catapult or air gun. Now the third sentence is when the boy started to bring him pieces of cake and biscuits, the squirrel, and your answer is grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from the author's hand. Now the fourth sentence is in the spring the banyan tree, there's a blank and blank would come there, and your answer is was full of small red figs and birds of all kind. Now the fifth sentence is the banyan tree served the boy as a, and the answer is library. Now the sixth sentence is the young boy spent his afternoons in the tree, and your answer is when it was not too hot. Now question number B is answer the following questions, and your first question is it was to be battle of champions. First, what qualities did the two champions have? Pick out words and phrases from the paragraph above this line in the text and write them out. And your answer is mongoose, the qualities are superb fighter, clever and aggressive. Cobra and its qualities are skillful, experienced and swift. Now turn to page number 133, second. What did the cobra and the mongoose do to show their readiness for the fight? And your answer is to show its readiness for the fight, the cobra hissed defiance, its forked tongue darting in and out. It raised 3 of its 6 feet off the ground and spread its broad, spectacled hood. The bushing of its tail and the standing up of the long hair on its spine showed that the mongoose was also ready for the fight. Now question number 2 is who were the other two spectators? What did they do? Did they watch or did they join in the fight? And your answer is the two spectators were a crow and a myna. They settled on a cactus to watch the outcome. But they did not just watch, they tried to join the fight by hurling themselves at the cobra. Now the third question is read the descriptions below of what the snake did and what the mongoose did. Arrange their actions in the proper order. And the rest of the question is on your screen. And your answer is snake tried to mesmerize the mongoose and mongoose refused to look into the snake's eyes. A snake struck on the side that the mongoose pretended to attack, and mongoose pretended to attack the cobra on one side. A snake struck again and missed, and mongoose sprang aside, jumped in and out. A snake struck the crow and mongoose darted away and bit the cobra on the back. Snake coiled itself around the mongoose and mongoose grabbed the snake by the snout. Snake ceased to struggle and mongoose dragged the snake into the bushes. Now question number 4 is first what happened to the crow in the end? And your answer is in the end the crow was flung nearly 20 feet across the garden by a blow from the cobra's snout. The crow fluttered about for a hole and then lay still. Second, what did the myna do finally? And your answer is finally the myna dropped cautiously to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance and then with a shrill cry of congratulations flew away. Now let's come to the next section, which is working with the language. And question number A is, first, the word round usually means a kind of shape. What is its meaning in the story? And your answer is, in this story, the word round means the different stages of a fight between the cobra and the mongoose. The second question is, find 5 words in the following paragraph which are generally associated with the trees, but here they have been used differently. Underline the words, and the paragraph is on your screen, and your answers will be leaves, branch, fruit, roots and bark. Now turn to page number 134, question number B. The words in the box are all words that describe movement. Use them to fill in the blanks in the sentences below. And your first sentence is, when he began to trust me, the squirrel began, there's a blank, into my pockets for morsels of cake. And the answer is delving. Now the second sentence is, I saw a cobra, there's a blank out of a clump of trees. And the answer is gliding. Third, the snake hissed his forked tongue, there's a blank in and out. And the answer is darting. Fourth, when the cobra tried to bite it, the mongoose, there's a blank aside. And the answer is sprang. Fifth, the snake, there's a blank, his head, blank to strike at the crow. And the answer is wiped and back. The sixth sentence is, the birds, there's a blank at the snake. And the answer is dived. Now question number C is, find words in the story which shows things striking violently against each other. And the first sentence is, the cobra struck the crow, his snout blank against its body. And the answer is thudding. Second, the crow and the myna blank in mid-air. And the answer is collided. Third, the birds dived at the snake but blank into each other instead. And the answer is bumped. Now turn to page number 135, question number D. Look at these sentences. In the spring, birds of all kinds would flock into the banyan tree's branches. I would spend the afternoons there. Grandfather at 65 could no longer climb the banyan tree. I could hide myself in its branches. I could look down through the leaves at the world below. I could read there. Wood tells us what the author used to do or what used to happen. Could tells us what the author was usually able to do or grandfather is now not able to do. Choose would and could to replace the italicized word in the following sentences. Grandfather says in the old days. First sentence, elephants were able to fly in the sky like clouds. They were also able to change their shapes. They used to fly behind clouds and frighten them. People used to look up at the sky in wonder. And the answer is, grandfather says in old days, elephants could fly in the sky like clouds. They could change their shapes. They would fly behind clouds and frighten them. People would look up at the sky and wonder. Now the second sentence is, because there was no electricity, he used to get up with the sun and he used to go to the bed with the sun, like the birds. And the answer is, because there was no electricity, he would get up with the sun and he would go to the bed with the sun, like the birds. Now the third sentence is, like the owl, he was able to see quite well in the dark. He was able to tell who was coming by listening to their footsteps. And the answer is, like the owl, he could see quite well in the dark. He could tell who was coming by listening to their footsteps. So students, these were the question and answer of this chapter. I hope you have noted it down. And if you still have any doubt, you can write it down in the comment section. We will definitely get back to you. And yes, do not forget to subscribe our channel and share it with your friends so that you can help them too. We will be back till then. Bye-bye.